into a dilemma. Like, it was inevitable, right? You consume kratom for so long, your body naturally adapts to it. Strength might lessen. Sometimes kratom doesn't work at all. I went through this period recently where I would go to take my lion's mane and other natural nootropics, adaptogens, etc. And they wouldn't work it like they used to years ago. I would return to something that I remember taking years prior, and it did not do the same thing. If anything, it did nothing. And then I started to notice that trend. There's a period after the death of my parents that I had pursued antidepressants. And the antidepressants would numb certain parts of your emotions, right? Numb certain things. It affected other parts of your life, whether that be, no sex drive, barely any emotions, kind of a walking zombie. I forgot which medicine I was on, but it literally canceled out any kind of natural alternative that I would try, because the brain was working on a certain part that was also affected by said natural alternative. But because it was already heightened and like full of this prescription, the natural subtle thing just had no effect at all. So that got me thinking with kratom. There's this mushroom blend that I used to love, and just the product itself, I remember such wonderful, the natural mushroom had wonderful benefits, kind of like lion's mane and all of those others that are so popular, trending everywhere amongst everybody. I went to go buy some of the products and it didn't do anything. And I couldn't figure out why. Was it me? Was it my body? Was it the product? Was the product weak? And I just dove headfirst into trying to figure that out. I researched kratom and how it works on your brain receptors, possible conflicts with other things. Of course, it's all scientific data and verbiage. It was so hard to get through. But I started to document my findings, and I started to put it together to kind of prepare for this discovery of kratom could very likely numb the receptors that are working and being worked on by kratom in such a powerful way that other natural alternatives just don't compare. It doesn't do justice. It doesn't work at all the same way. It's as if you are addicted in a sense, and your body is just familiar with that being there, that it's no longer sensitive. Like when you rub in the same spot, it won't feel good anymore. It will be irritating and just nagging and almost painful with your nerves, and oftentimes numb. If you keep rubbing it in the same spot, wears it down. Same could apply to kratom and how it works in your certain parts of your brain that triggers the things that natural alternatives like ashwagandha or kava or mushrooms of various kinds can deliver for you. And this is what I figured out and discovered through my research. I will share a link down in the description, but to summarize what I found out, kratom can alter the metabolism and effectiveness of other alternative medication or medications due to its effects on drug metabolizing enzymes like CYP450s and UGTs. It inhibits enzymes such as the CYP thingies, potentially leading to interactions with drugs metabolized through these pathways, including those that narrow therapeutic windows, like warfarin or phenytoin, if I'm saying that right. Combining kratom with other things, like substances too, or sedatives, or other stimulants, things that are like MAOIs. So that stands for like monoamine oxidase inhibitors, may cause some severe side effects as well, if that's something you do when it comes to combining things that are kind of other stimulants. But we kind of already knew that, right? Additionally, these interactions with other herbs can lead to overstimulation and elevated blood pressure as well. So these findings suggest that co-administration of kratom with other things just requires some caution. So the study, which was done in a medical journal, confirmed those two things. You either take something, so because it's working on the same pathways, it's like it cancels each other out. That would be kratom in this case, canceling out the other thing. Or if it's a stimulant or a sedative, it like triples it, and it actually makes you, if anything, it makes you sick. Which we kind of knew that. If any, like the worst thing is usually you get the spins and you throw up. But either or, all these interactions with other things is you're supposed to use caution. So when I figured this out, I was obviously kind of disappointed, sad in a sense. Like, now I don't get to really enjoy all the benefits of, say, lion's mane or these other mushroom tinctures that have been known to help cognitive functions, or these other things that are like Chinese medicine that has been known to be powerful herbs. They don't work the same as they otherwise would if I didn't have kratom in my system. So I'm seeing a Chinese doctor, highly recommend it, but Chinese medicine is so expensive. And I've obviously changed my mindset throughout the years, leaning more and more towards natural things, natural medicine, but with that comes more price tags, which is unfortunate. So I do a lot of my own research because of that. Don't need to pay hourly to have someone do the research and tell me what I could just do myself to find out. But that being said, I think there's, as I often say in other videos, my cat's just like jumping on everything. There are so many other natural alternatives and natural things that help with pain, with depression, with anxiety, with whatever you're needing kratom for. You can find other natural things that could help with that reason. Like ashwagandha, it's great for mood. If you're taking kratom for mood, there's so many other things out there that you can also take. So I am deciding to taper a big chunk of my daily dose with kratom, so I can kind of lower the wall that kratom is built around those pathways, as the medical journal says. So other things can kind of get over the wall as well and provide some other great benefits that I'm missing out on because I have too much kratom in my system. It'll do obviously some good and some bad. I take kratom because of some really bad chronic pain, fibromyalgia, neuropathy, osteoarthritis, just things from diseases that I deal with that have triggered other diseases throughout the years. And so I take it for a genuinely good reason, not for a mental change high, not for, depression, not for anxiety. I take it because I actually need it for pain. So my pain will most likely come back full force. I always feel the dullness, but kratom has always helped take the edge off. So if I lower my kratom dose and try to incorporate other Chinese medicine herbs, I'm hoping that the pain adjustment will be, if anything, non-existent and something I don't notice, if the Chinese medicine is actually doing its job. If not, I might go back to increasing my kratom dose a little bit. my body's weird. You know, when I did drink alcohol, I was always very high functioning when I drank. A lot of things, you know, a lot of things that typically numb a person or take away pain. It's like takes double dose to actually work for me. So maybe it's just my body. Maybe it's just me and how I've been built. It just takes double of everything to feel any of said things' benefits. Like when I would go get a cavity filling or something, and they're supposed, you know, they inject you with some numbing medicine, and obviously they inject a needle full of it. I require like 4 of those, whereas any other normal person at the dentist requires like maybe 1, 2 at the most. They have to come back and put 4 injections of numbing stuff to even get started on my tooth work. So now that I think about it, it might be just me, but it's still good to try to taper off things, not rely on things, because anything, even the purest of things, too much of something can become a bad thing. It's not the person, it's the thing. If you're a fan, you know I always say that, but it's so true. Anything can become an addiction. It's not that thing's fault. It's us. It's on us to not overdo it. Too much of anything is a bad thing. So it's good to take breaks. It's good to taper when you can. And it's also nice to know that there's so much more out there for so many different things. And I value that from the divine, from nature, from all of that. I will keep sharing what I learn with all of you. Thanks for watching. I hope you like and subscribe, comment. Let me know what experience and stuff you have with Chinese medicine. I'd be curious to know, because I'm definitely always diving deep in those kind of things. All right, I will see you in my next video.